It's mock draft time on Patriots today. Our fourth mock draft on the channel, as we are just a couple days away from the final New England Patriots game of the 2023 season. And obviously, the draft order is everything we are keeping an eye on and is going to be in flux heading into the final game this Sunday. But we currently sit at the third pick, and we're going to act as we are going to have that third pick come April time. I am Nick Roloff of Patriots Today. And before we jump in to my mock draft, I want to know, who is your favorite 2024 NFL draft prospect? Is it a quarterback, Caleb Williams, Drake May, or could it be the wide receiver, Marvin Harrison Jr.? The reason why I brought that name up is because that's who I'm picking with our third overall pick. Caleb Williams went number 1. Drake May went number 2. Obviously, New England could trade down from this spot, but I elected to take the wide receiver of the former NFL legend. And how could you not, right? He is an unbelievable prospect, arguably the best wide receiver coming into the draft over the last 10 seasons. He has just been phenomenal for the Buckeyes. Maybe he's returning. He hasn't officially declared for the draft as of now, but you expect him to, because he's going to be a top 5 pick without a doubt. Dominating as a sophomore, a junior. And the most impressive thing to me about MHJ right now is the fact he was able to increase his yards on average, right? Like, he's able to become more of an explosive threat. We know he's a technician. He can work in the 10 to 15 yard intermediate route, but he got more explosive. And explosive is a thing New England desperately needs. A lot of people can make the Mac Jones argument is he failed in Foxborough because he just could not find anyone open because no one was open. Patriots, regardless of who they draft, whether it be MHJ or quarterback, they need playmakers, and Marvin Harrison Jr. is the best playmaker in this draft without a doubt. I don't really think it is even that close. I'm a big fan of Malik Neighbors, but the tier drop-off is just absolutely insane. And that brings me to the intriguing decision New England, and whoever's calling the shots, whether it be Bill Belichick or someone new, is going to have to make. Will they go quarterback in the top 5 of this draft? Or will they maybe take just the best overall player, whether it be Marvin Harrison Jr., or hell, if they win this Sunday against the Jets, are picking 5 rather than 3, could it be an offensive tackle? But at least with the third pick, I'm taking MHJ. And the reason why I'm not really worrying about quarterback is because I'm trading our second-round pick to the Chicago Bears, 35th overall, for quarterback Justin Fields. The decision for Chicago is an intriguing one. Are they going to take Caleb Williams, or are they going to trade out of the number 1 pick for the second straight year and rock with Fields as the quarterback of their franchise? Fields has been up and down this year, got off to a really rough start in the Windy City, got hurt, missed 4 games, and then ever since he's come back, he has been fantastic for the Bears, and they're on a little bit of a heater as of well right now. One of the most dynamic playmakers inside the NFL. The completion percentage is shaky. He misses some easy throws, but he also makes the elite ones. So if he could just shore up and do the easy things and make them actually easy, well, he is going to be a top quarterback in this league, and he's the number 1 rushing quarterback in the NFL. A lot of us see Josh Allen, 16 rushing touchdowns. Yes, Lamar Jackson is fantastic, but when you just look at a consistent basis, Justin Fields is the best running quarterback in the NFL, and if he could just become a little bit more accurate, he can be dynamic, and maybe that is in New England paired up with Marvin Harrison Jr. So let me know today's pinned comment. I really want to know your thoughts on this one because, hell, maybe this is an avenue New England goes. Would you draft Marvin Harrison Jr. at pick number 3 and trade for Justin Fields? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Let me know your thoughts down below. So we don't have a second round pick. We go right to the third round, and that is Kingsley Suamataia. I botched that last name. I just don't know what to tell you. I actually think I might have nailed it. Who knows? But round 3, he's a big offensive lineman who really locked things down for the Cougars over there at BYU. His PFF grades for 2023, 65.9. Really good pass blocker, which is what you're going to need in New England. Run blocking is shaky, but I really am a fan of that pass blocking. You look at his measurements, 6'6", 315. He's a big body, and could he be replacing the current left tackle, who is also a very large man, Trent Brown? Because I don't think he's coming back. I don't even think it's a think anymore. I think it's pretty much locked in that he won't be returning to New England. He's really had a shaky end here in Foxborough. Not playing this week. He's not going to make $6.5 million because of incentives. It's just an ugly situation. It's not the first time he's left New England, so he won't be there. So hopefully the Patriots bring back Michael Wenu, and you only have to replace that left tackle spot, which could be Kingsley from BYU. More mock draft players to come. But first, show some love to our sponsor over at PrizePick, the #1 daily fantasy sports platform there is. And you can get a first deposit match up to $100 when you go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS. I'm looking forward to NFL Week 18. I don't really want to take anything in the Patriots game because it's a little dicey with the weather. I don't know who's going to play and who's not. So I'll just take more than on both Gardner Minshew and CJ Stroud's passing yards. They both have to win this game. I expect a shootout this Saturday evening between the two QBs. You can take my picks, you can fade my picks, but make sure you go over to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS to get that first round deposit match up to $100. That link will be in the description and comments of today's video. Let's move on over to Braden Fiske, the defensive lineman from Florida State. 4th round pick here, and you probably are saying, well, why are you taking a defensive lineman, especially in the interior, here in the 4th round? Well, one, when you're sitting here in the 4th round, I believe in best player available. I don't think you're drafting for needs when you go to the later rounds. And I think Fiske is a really talented run stopper in the middle of that defense. You could pair him up with Christian Barmore, who's been unbelievable as a 3-tech this year, 8.5 sacks, snubbed from the Pro Bowl, by the way, but back to Fiske. 43 tackles, 6 sacks, so he can also get after the quarterback a little bit. 9 TFLs and a PFF grade of 73.8. Once again, you're in the 4th round. You're just looking for players that could come into your locker room and make an immediate impact, and that's why I'm taking Fiske. Best player available here in round 4. Before we get to the end of our mock draft, I want to make sure you guys are subscribed to Patriots Today because we will be the #1 spot for the New England Patriots NFL draft content over the next 3 or 4 months leading up to that big weekend in April. So subscribe today, whether it be by myself, Nick Roloff, or Harrison Graham. We'll have you covered with the latest Patriots draft rumors. All right, let's transition into round 5, and I'm going running back here. Ray Davis, the Kentucky Wildcat, and the reason why I was kind of eyeing running back, I know I said you don't draft for need, but one that I was specifically looking for, and I know I wanted to come out of this draft with, is another running back. The current Patriots room is Ramondre Stevenson, Ezekiel Elliot, and then you've got Kevin Harris. But will Zeke re-sign in Foxborough? He's a free agent after signing a 1-year deal. I think he's been really good for the Patriots, and he might actually go elsewhere to get a bigger contract, but I would also love to bring Zeke back. But in the chances that Zeke does leave New England in free agency, I think Ray Davis could be a really good replacement. He's just been so dang productive for the Wildcats. 14 touchdowns this last season, 1,131 yards. And how about the yards per carry? 5.7 yards? Yeah, that'll absolutely play. Nice change of pace back with Ramondre Stevenson, and you can still keep Kevin Harris as that 3rd back for the Patriots, who has been pretty terrific, actually, over the last 2 or 3 weeks, ever since Ramondre Stevenson had his season cut short. So what say you? Do the Patriots need to draft a running back to play alongside Zeke and Ramondre, or just replace Zeke, barring his leave in free agency? Type D for draft, type P for pass. All right, my favorite pick of this mock draft, and it's Cameron Ward, the quarterback from Washington State in the 6th round. He recently declared for the draft after being the #1 guy in the transfer portal teams were trying to get. The Miami Hurricanes and Florida State Seminoles were really intrigued by this guy, but he elects to go to the draft, and this is a fun pick. And in this hypothetical mock draft, you guys saw that I traded for Justin Fields. Well, I still think it would benefit the Patriots to take another quarterback, and I always believe in taking a quarterback late in drafts to at least be a developmental guy to see if you find something like a hidden gem, like a Brock Purdy, or hell, a Tom Brady who was drafted in the 6th round, right? So Cam Ward flashed at Washington State, one of the most productive quarterbacks in all of college football this past year. Even if you keep Zappe as your backup quarterback, have Ward as that third guy who's inactive every week, but is the emergency quarterback learning behind Zappe or potentially Justin Fields. Ward, 25 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, can make some plays with his legs as well, 8 rushing touchdowns. Ward was really good for the Cougars this year, and I would absolutely love him to be the third quarterback in New England, regardless of if it's Drake May, Caleb Williams, or Justin Fields as QB1. All right, rounding out our mock draft today is Julian Pearl, the offensive tackle out of Illinois in the 7th round here. I mentioned earlier about the offensive tackle depth. We know the offensive line has been a really big concern for the Patriots this season, unable to protect Mac Jones, struggling with protecting Bailey Zappe. Trent Brown is likely gone, so you're going to need to replace him at left tackle. Hopefully Onwenu comes back, because Onwenu, if he doesn't even come back, well then you're really in a pickle because you got to replace both left tackle and right tackle. Once again, a big body here, potentially 6'6", 315, actually listed as the same size as Kingsley, so intriguing there. But maybe a little shot in the dark here. Maybe he pans out or is just some more offensive tackle depth and is potentially a swing tackle in New England. All right, grade our Patriots mock draft. A, B, C, D, or F. Go back to school for me. I like it. You get Marvin Harrison Jr., your wide receiver 1 for the next decade, hopefully, and you also trade for Justin Fields, grab some talented players on the offensive side of the ball, as well as a potential left tackle replacement for Trent Brown. A, B, C, D, or F. Grade it for me down in the comment section. And make sure you are subscribed because, well, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, you're not going to get better Patriots draft content anywhere else. Lock us in, either Harrison or myself, Nick Roloff, and I'll see you on the next video. Go Pats!